And the microphone is on. Happy Sunday, everyone. It is November the 6th, 2022. And I'm your host, DrFox2000. You're watching VolcanoX, a live stream. And welcome on board. And of course, the stuff that we have on screen is from back 1 year ago. That is over in Cumbre Vieja on La Palma in the Canary Islands, of course. And thank you for all those good people welcoming me, from Alma Girl and Sasha and Henry and Hermione and John, and I hear you from Sharon Stewart. And glad everybody kept up with the time change. Awesome. Yay, it's Dr. Fox live on the air, if we like it. And I see MT in there as well, and Sophie giving a hug, and Grandma B saying hi. So awesome. And really good. I'm glad to have everyone on board. Of course, like I said, it's the November the 6th. Most of the snow has stopped falling, but we're still getting a little bit. We're right on the edge of it. Right now we got a bunny eating, which is a good thing. And let's see what else we got. First person in today, Lizoid. Lizoid gets cookies. There you go, Lizoid. And we won't forget that. And let's see what else we got going on. Not much. How about rain for the first time in Death Valley in 110 years. I don't know if that's interesting to people, but that is something that is different. So call it what you will, climate change, it doesn't matter. Yep, official rain that actually happened on the 3rd of November. So that was registered as official. So 49 days till the fat man sings. There you go, Grandma B. Ho, ho, ho. And all kinds of things. Something like that. Yep, a rain in Death Valley. You bet, Henry. And it's been 110 years since they've actually measured any rain there. So that is pretty awesome. Anyway, our canned lava ran out, so although that is a nice picture on there, and if you stare at it too long, it still looks like it's moving, but don't do that. I'm going to say hi to everyone. What I'll do, though, is I'll throw us over to Iceland real quick. We'll watch Reykjavik instead. At least that is alive right now. So there we go, and welcome to, we'll go Sophie first, and then Tracy Bills, and Hermione Schaefer, and Status Quo is here. Welcome. Sharon Stewart also on board. John Raper, Tracy Bills, hey, we got you already. MT Coalforge, Sharon Stewart, and let's see, we got our one of our moderators, 24/7 Live AZ Skies. Gary is here, so pretty cool. And thanks, Gary. And let's see, Sasha is in the house. King Colin Deadman with his moat around his building. I guess his castle. I guess that's what kings have, right? Welcome to Alba Girl. And did we get Henry already? We got Sophie. Grandma B is here, and yep, it's going to be not too far away from Christmas. I don't, Christmas isn't what it used to be for me, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, let's see, who else we got in the house? We got Sharon, we got Tracy, we got Lizoid, of course, since he got cookies. And going up a little bit more, looking for other good names. Kevin Williams, welcome back. And who else we got? Adele51 is here as well. Good to see Adele. And still sliding up some more, looking for other wonderful names. in amongst all the good chat that is going on. Oh, Mummy of Hamsters is here. Welcome, and thank you for the welcome, Uncle Doc. Awesome. And going up some more, looking for other good names. And who we got? Scrolling. Boy, there's a lot of chat going on in there. And Tom Dice is in here. I hope all your pipes are fixed there, Tom. I know those things from back in the 1800s are about due to be replaced, eh? And let's see, still scrolling up, looking for other wonderful names. And who else we got? Layla is in the house. Welcome back, Layla. And who else we got? Still looking. And Zelchko, I hope I said that right. Greetings from Croatia, and welcome. Glad to have you on board. Diane Craig is also here. Welcome, Diane. And going up some more. Looking for, I see, LOL, Gemma Super Kitty, Dave and Claire, possibly. Welcome, you guys. And going up some more here. Wayne Pinkham, welcome. And let's see, Connie Tyree also here. And that is as far up as I can go. I see C&D Boy here. So, yeah, welcome to the moderators. We've got Arizona Snowman, typically. Piggy is likely going to be in the background. Her power keeps going off. Apparently right now the storm that's in her area, it's called Eva, and it keeps messing with the power, and that is a problem for her right now. So power going on and off. She will likely be busy doing other things, and hopefully everything will be okay there. She is actually got for the first rains that they've gotten since March. So very, very cool and awesome that, yeah, they're getting a little bit of rain right now. So that is nice too, and pretty awesome. Okay, and also want to welcome, yeah, so I got Arizona Snowman, Piggy, and we got C&D Boys in here as well, and then of course Gary 24/7 Live AZ Skies, and we may also have let's see, Lucas Snow perhaps, or Joseph Fields. Joseph typically busy on Sundays, so we won't expect him so much, but we do have some other mods that could be in the background as well. She has power. Piggy just plugged in the rain and the new mud. Yeah, just playing. Yeah, that, you know what, Tom, you might be right about that. She's having she got her pigsty outside there going again, and having a mud bath, and she's really not telling us anything about it. But that could be it, you know. It's been a long time. I mean, to go, what is it, from March till now, that's almost 7 months without a mud bath. I think that would be an eternity for a pig, and something well deserved. Anyway, let's leave that alone. Okay, let's get on with the show here. Mary Jane, what? No, Mary Jane Mary. Hello, Jane Mary. I missed a Jane Mary. Where's Jane Mary? I don't see Jane Mary anywhere. All right, I'm not sure what that's all about. Anyway, we'll leave that alone. Too much fun, you guys. Going back about, let's see, well, we'll go about 7.5 hours back. Take a look at what it was looking like. That's actually not too bad. And clear skies for a while there. The clouds did kind of dissipate, but came back later, as we will see. And of course, not bad looking in Iceland right there. If we go to the other shot, of course, that's what it is now. And again, going back to about this point here, there we go. You can see not bad in the background, but hiding in behind clouds, unfortunately, so not bright and sunny as they would expect it. And there are some cloud patches popping around, making things nasty, I guess. And yep, Jane Mary, hi. I don't know where you're from, but welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And let's take a look at what it looked like out near Katla today. And unfortunately, even in the very wee hours, it didn't look very nice. And it was raining there, and that is about 11 and a half hours ago. If we go back to about, I guess about 6 hours ago, 6 hours and 40 minutes ago, rain kind of let up a little bit, but those clouds are still hanging there. You do see a little bit of the white caps in the background here, and of course that is the entire ice field along the back side here that is covered by clouds. You don't see it, but that is where Katla is located, and we're not seeing a heck of a lot there. And the other camera, of course, isn't going to show anything right now because we are in the dark. Soft chew or a cigar box of routine, Dr. Fox. Soft shoe or cigar box? Huh? Oh boy. No, I got my boots over there. The shoe box from the boots. Oh, I don't know what the heck he's talking about. Anyway, never mind. I'm gonna carry on here. Let's go over and have a look at the harmonic tremor chart, guys, and see what we're doing. And of course, there it is. It was going up really nicely, and then it broke my heart, and then it started going back up really nicely, and then it broke my heart again. So there you go. There's our chart today as we watched it rise a little bit, and then of course it plummeted way down. And then I thought, hey, we're going to see a nice uptick here, and wow, there's the result. So our tectonic action that's happening in the area has diminished somewhat. And hey, Arizona Snowman, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. So that's kind of what we're seeing there. And yeah, for those who want to bring up the chart, Arizona Snowman just brought up the link. And we see that everything is heading downward. Now we're going to take a look at a couple other places here. Astra is one of the first ones we want to look at, and that of course has diminished activity as well. You can see we did have some earthquakes in the area, but again, things are heading downward. So I don't think we're going to see any kind of an eruption over there. And I wasn't aware of what the seismic energy was today, but I don't think it's going to be anything more than what it was yesterday. So down below a ton again, and that is not going to help out much. No eruption. And we'll go down and have a peek here at Grimsey, as well as our Grindavik one right away here. There we go, Grimsey, and steady as she goes. A couple of spikes indicating some quakes, but nothing really major, and everything looks like it's kind of chugging along at a reasonable pace there, you guys. So nothing happening at Grimsey, and taking a look at Grindavik, and there it is, and just as depressing as the one in Fragedalfjall. And we see it on a downward cycle right now, unfortunately, but hey, it is what it is. And we suspect this as seismic, rather, like a tectonic action rather than magmatic, and it relieved itself somewhere in several bursts here and calmed right down. So we'll likely see a couple of quakes in there that may have taken the pressure off, and that'll be kind of interesting. Anyway, let's move on to the tremor chart, and we'll take a look there at the map and see what we've got. So there we are. Last 24 hours, hang on, I'm trying to get over to that. We had 79 quakes. So that's a lot less than what we've seen in the last little while. And I'm trying to zoom in here a little bit without going too far, too quick. And there we go. All right, so one out in the water, fair distance out, 6:20 a.m., magnitude 1.59, 10 kilometers down for him. And all by himself, and really nothing special there. A little at 0.24 from 1547, 5.2 kilometers down. And then we've got this 0.93, 4.2 kilometers down from 1434. And we'll carry on. Of course, just to let you know, that is the Reykjanes Peninsula. Reykjavik, the capital, is right there. And of course, Keflavik, the airport, right in here. Keflavik, Reykjanesbær, Jarðvík. And of course, if we go over here, you can see Grindavik, and the Blue Lagoon is located right here, and the power plant on this side. So that gives you a little bit of orientation to where you are there. And when we look at these, we have this one out in the water and just offshore from Grindavik, 0.93, 4.2 kilometers down from 1434. Then this one out a little closer to the Blue Lagoon, anyway, from 1547, 0.24, very small, 5.2 kilometers down. I don't think that's an imminent threat of any type. This is a little 2.1 from yesterday at 2121, 229 meters down. I don't think that's going to do much either. And then we get over into our area, and let me see, this would be down just right where it goes into not Haggy Valley, somewhere just on the side. We'll get to him in a second. Of course, this is our official or first batch here in Fagradalfjall. Ragnar is right in here, and that is the Siggy Fisher, and that would be Theater Hill, or what's left of it, and that one would have been Ant Hill, as we called it. And we'll take a look at this one here, 0.82, 4.7 kilometers down, and that is from 1352. And I kind of wonder, that is fairly deep down. If it was more to the surface, I could see it being some kind of weight settling in on the area, but I don't think 4.2 kilometers down is really a place where we're going to see some compression before that, right? I think it'd be higher up at a kilometer or so. Anyway, we have from 1141 a 0.16, 2.6 kilometers down there, and then from 1148 a 0.5, 3.1 kilometers down. And what else we got in the area? So that is in our Fagradalfjall area. And of course, that's Keilir up there, and these guys wouldn't be within our jurisdiction, if you will, or our system. They would be in the Krusavik one, which is right next door. They do have some small quakes here, 0.28, 2.2 kilometers down, 4:06 a.m. For that one. This 0.59, 4.6 kilometers down from 1339. And then we also have this 0.88, 5.9 kilometers down from 532 this morning. This is at the location of Krusavik right there. So fairly close for that guy. Another 0.85 here, 6.082 kilometers down, and that is from 5:38 a.m. And then we have a 0.76, and that is 5.2 clicks down and 12:43 was the time on that guy. And that is basically it for the Reykjanes Peninsula. We'll move out here, grab this one real quick. 1.54, 5.1 kilometers down, and that is 12:49 is what they put down there. And Hengil is the area, I guess. I'm not sure what that volcano actually is called behind it there. This guy. Yeah, I can't pronounce that. But we'll settle for Hengil. I can pronounce that one. All right, moving on. Let's get over and take a look near Hekla. We have this guy 1:32 in the morning, and 1.68 was the magnitude, and it's 8.1 kilometers down. Don't think that's going to do much. We have sitting here a 5.2 kilometers down, 1659 for him, and then of course on this bigger one 2.3, 1658, and 5.2 kilometers down for that guy. And then we have very close to Katla, we got this 1.85, 479 meters down, 4:46 a.m. And then we have from 5:35, 1.12, and 0.8 of a kilometer down, or 822 meters. And kind of makes you wonder, that 822 meters, well beyond the ice. And this one being 479 meters. I don't think the ice is that thick there. I think that's getting into the top rocks. It may be ice movement, we don't know. Anyway, carrying on, Grimsvatn had a 0, and that was 8.8 kilometers down, and 6:36 in the morning. You know, 0, to me, my math says a 0 is nothing, so how do they record a 0? Never mind. 0.3, 7.4 kilometers down, 14:43. And then 1.5, 2.8 clicks down, 4:43 a.m. as well. So these two happen about the same time. That is Astja, and that is where we're at. I see our swarm here that, you know, used to be huge, has really shrunk up a whole bunch. Hey, DJ4 is in the house, as well as Philomena. Welcome to both of you. Dave Kruk also here. Good to have you on board. Carrie Smith, welcome. Glad to have you here. And let's see, did I miss anyone else sneaking in? We got Alba Girl earlier, and we should be okay for right now. Oh, Frank McLeod. I see you there as well. Welcome. And status quo, all good. I think we got most of you. All right. Anyway, let's zoom into Herderbreed area, and we'll take a look. I just want to look at these little fresh ones here, see how deep they are. 0.7, 5.1 kilometers down, 1557 for that one. Oh, sorry, 1857, my bad. From 2028, 8.46 kilometers down. Really don't think that's going to mean much for us. 6.5 kilometers down on this 0.1 from 1910. So a swarm of very small ones that are very deep from all things considered here. This is a little shallower. This is a 1.58. In magnitude, 1.2 kilometers down, 7:51 a.m. for that guy. Then we've got a 1.29, 1.4 kilometers down, 8:15 in the morning, and then a 0.79, 1.1 kilometers down. That's fairly shallow, you guys. That was from 14 minutes after 12 noon. And 7:16 a.m., 0.77. This is, of course, moving away from that spot. 4.8 kilometers down for that guy. And then a 0.8, 3 kilometers down from yesterday at 21:40. So kind of neat to see a couple popping up here a little bit. Makes you wonder if maybe it'll pop there. Just not enough more quakes looking over right up on top of Herdebrede, which is got a kind of a flat top on it. It's I got two cones up top. If you ever look at the picture, it's kind of a neat thing. DMC, sorry, the Doghouse DMC, got it. Welcome, I'm glad to have you on board. And Chris Chaplin also here, welcome. Anyway, 1.59, 3.9 kilometers down, 5:55 a.m. For that. Then we've got a 0.69, 2.4 kilometers down, 11:33 a.m. and 16:08, 0.19 and 294 meters down. That one's very shallow, makes you wonder. All right, next one right close to it here, 3.3 kilometers down, 4.34, and that was from 1556. Now, some of these, just to mention, because this is in the top of a volcano, 294 meters down. It could be an old lava tube collapsing because of all the shaking in the area. All kinds of things could happen there. So just keep that in mind as well. 0.75, 2.4 kilometers down from 3:25 a.m. for that little guy. This one, 0.68, 4 kilometers down, again getting deeper, 8:14 a.m. for him. This 0.64, 3.7 kilometers down, 11:43. And we'll just grab some of these randomly here, bigger ones if I can. Well, we'll do this guy. 3 kilometers down for a 0.79, 13:55. This 0.7 is a 5.2 clicks down, 14:29 for that guy. And moving up a little bit more here, we'll grab this 1.0, or 1.1 they call it, 4.9 kilometers down, 1942 for him from today. And then the bigger one underneath it from 3:30 in the morning was a magnitude 1.92, 4.6 kilometers down. What about these guys sitting over here? 1.25 in magnitude, 4.6 clicks down, 4:09 a.m. Gives us a pretty good idea of what we've got in that area, and it really looks like most of it has subsided. We're not seeing, at least I'm not going to think that there would be an imminent eruption going on there, so kind of interesting. Anyway, looking up here near Grimsey, there's the island of Grimsey. May have zoomed in a little too quick here for you. And there's the top end of Iceland, and there's the island of Grimsey. And of course, we go out into the water and take a look. And again, this area has shifted northward again, which is kind of interesting too. 12.1 kilometers down for a 1.35 from 1320. And there's an older one here, 1.19, 12, just about 13 kilometers down, 5:22 a.m. And what do we got here? Some other ones. We'll just grab a few. 1.35, 10.9 kilometers down, 2:25 a.m. 1.27, 11.3 kilometers down, 6:39 a.m. We'll grab this 1.29 out here. 10.6 kilometers down for him, 45 minutes after midnight. We'll maybe just sample in here. Same depth again, 10.9 kilometers down, 1.22, 6:46 a.m. So looking at these quakes, really, I don't think there's anything that is really upheaving or going to get us excited. Most of that is likely tectonic in nature, and we're going to leave it as that for our Icelandic report today. Don't see any imminent eruptions right now, and that's kind of the way it is. We're hoping that somebody rattles the cage and we'll see something. Maybe we'll get one for Christmas. That'd be a nice present, eh? a volcano for Christmas, and of course somewhere where it's not going to harm anyone. That's what we want. So anyway, that would be pretty cool. No, Dave, that's not how it works. If you want the weather for Boston, you have to type exclamation weather, then a space, and then the word Boston. That'll work. All right, let's carry on. I see it is getting close to break time. And of course, we all set our clocks back an hour and got everything done. And I even synced my time on my computer to the global thing there, and everything seems to be on time. I look at my clocks and they're all at the right time right now, which is really weird. Normally they're all over the place. I even did my cameras today, so that was pretty cool. And awesome. Anyway, so not a heck of a lot happening there in Iceland. We can maybe pop over to Sicily for a minute, and then we'll get on with the break. Sicily, of course, being in the dark right now. If we bring us back to the lighter times, this is about 6 hours and 10 minutes ago. That's the pretty sight you've seen. And here's the quick video from this morning, time lapse that I did, and watch those clouds zip by on our very snowy Mount Etna, which is hiding under those clouds. It does peek out once in a while, which is really awesome, but for the most part, it seems to have that refrigerated shroud over it for the time being. It does look very lovely there, and I certainly hope the clouds don't move that fast. This is actually about 128 times faster than regular speed, so yeah, they're moving, and pretty awesome. Yes, Sophie, it is break time, and as soon as this little thing is over, we'll take a break. And there's Mount Etna, kind of. And we'll make it happen. And I just thought I'd share this. This is actually a pretty cool looking. I kind of like those clouds. They're happy clouds, even though they're raining all over the place. What? Vodka? No, we don't do vodka. I've 4 vodka in mine. Oh, you put... Oh, I couldn't do that. That would kill me, John. I'd be getting my stomach pumped real quick. I'm allergic to alcohol, unfortunately, and can't do that. And, yeah, I think that is actually a pretty awesome time lapse. And then it got really cloudy and really rainy here, and that's just about where I quit, I think. And that's about 4 hours worth compressed down to about just over 2 minutes, and that's quite a long stretch to try to get into 2 minutes. But it looked cool. I thought it did anyway. And that, of course, is what it looked like earlier there at 4:21 this afternoon in Sicily. Not bad. Quiet otherwise from our volcano. Nothing really major going on there in Italy, so we can rest assured. But we'll maybe talk about Mount, what is it? Campi Fria? I can't remember the last part of that. But Campi is one that we will talk about a little bit when I get back from the break. Anyway, for those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please help us out and give it a quick pop. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, sitting on the outside and wanting to get in, by all means hit that subscribe button if you feel we've earned it. And you can jump in there 1 minute later and chat with all those good people in the chat box there. And welcome Russell Brainerd, and let's see, Kevin Haynes we got already, and welcome, and I think we're good for right now. Okay, I'm going to go take that break, you guys. I'll put you back on some canned lava though, and oh, hang on, not that one. I want to go to this one. We'll let this one play. I will get some fresh canned lava tomorrow, but today I don't have any, so I will let this one run again, and we should be okay with that. I like looking at the bacon, and we can get rid of the banner and get rid of that. There we go, and then you can watch it flow. All right, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go away, you guys. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in snowy white Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'll be back. And the microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you on board. I'm your host, DrFox2000. You're watching VolcanoX live stream. And I was just looking at that screen, trying to figure out how high those jets are shooting out. Some of them are going right off the top of the stream, or the camera view, and that is just a tremendous amount of power to be able to produce that kind of ejecta, and that is just awesome. Anyway, thank you for the welcome backs from John Raper, Albagirl, and Kevin Haynes, and Philomena, and Oh Mummy of Hamster saying welcome back, Uncle Doc. Thank you, Sasha, and welcome home, Dr. Fox 2000. Thanks, Arizona Snowman. And all good. Thanks, Kirst. And yeah, the lava fountains. Those are just incredible. That are, when you see them shooting up like that, that is just awesome as far as I'm concerned. And thanks, Hermione. And anyway, the power that it takes to generate that kind of a thrust to get that going all the way up there is a lot. There's got to be a tremendous amount of power in that lava, in the gases and everything combined when it's coming up the tubes, and you got to wonder what really drives all that. And it's pressure, it's gas, and wow, when it comes out, don't throw money in them. Don't throw money in the lava fountains. Yeah, don't throw money in the lava fountains. A couple things will happen. If it's bursting like that, one, it'll instantly melt, and two, it probably will spatter back at you, and you don't want to do that. Pretty nasty stuff. Anyway, we're going to stop our canned lava, and we'll pause it in its tracks. We'll let it go just a little more. There we go. Keep it nice and steady up top there. And we will carry on looking around the world. Of course, we had a look at Sicily, and we had a look at Iceland. Let's go to, I guess we can go over and have a look at the Azores real quick. And let's get on the picture there. There we go. And of course, the bright lights down on the bottom here, that is the harbor, and that is all lit up. And the area on the side here is the one of the towns. We've got water in between, and then the lights that you see along here are on the Pico Island, and you can almost make out the volcano over there. There is some moonlight, and it must be clear because we can see a little bit. But normally during the day, this is the view, and you kind of get the idea of where the two islands are. And of course, we are on the island of São Jorge, or São Jorge, if you want to say it in Portuguese. And of course, when we switch over, here is the very battered little cove that we normally look at. And you see how much white water is in there tonight. Holy mackerel, it must be really rough seas. Some of those waves must be very big for that whole area to be whitewater. And just to kind of give you a look or comparison, this is a calm day, and that is what that bay looks like during the day, and on a calm day. You don't see all that white water in around the edges here. That is a lot of stuff going on. Yep, wild seas. Don't go out on your little boat. A matter of fact, I think you're going to need a really big boat. It looks really rough there, really rough. And stay away from the island. You'll be doing more than hanging 10 if you get too close. Shipwrecked on a deserted island. Hang on, there's people living there. Never mind. Anyway. That is what we are seeing over there in the Azores right now. Let's have a look and see what we've got for earthquakes today. Seeing 2 on this list. We'll make that picture a little wider here, and there we go. a 1.5 from 1419, and that is indicated right there. And then the other one, of course, over a little bit, and 1.7 in magnitude, and that is from 1643. So not a heck of a lot showing there. We do see another one just over there, 1.7, 1456 for that guy. But that is not right on the island, and that's just off in the water. I'm glad that they showed it though. Let's take a look at the other map. It shows the other stuff on it. I got to refresh that one though so we can get accurate data. And it looks like they are indicating the three, nothing new. We see one down here. Let's make that map a little bit bigger. And no, it won't fit them all in. Yeah, it will fit them all in. Anyway, that is showing right there on the East Azores fault. And that is 13 hours ago, 2.2. And of course, here's our two on our St. George Island. And 5 hours ago, 1.7, and 7 hours ago for the 1.2. And we'll zoom that out a little bit and give you a better idea of where we are. This, of course, is the mid-Atlantic ridge going through here, and this is the East Azores fault. If we zoom out a little bit more, you can see where they are. There's Spain and Portugal and Africa, of course, and over here you see Newfoundland and part of Nova Scotia. And of course, this is the North American plate, Eurasian plate, and African plate in that area. And that is kind of the junction right there between all three plates. And we get some neat action there at times. Anyway, that is kind of where it's located. Looking very quickly here, the 2.2, that was close to the other island there. Anyway, 5 kilometers down. And the other two on St. George, surface quakes really, and that's what we see right there. So nothing new, wild, or wonderful in the Azores. We'll carry on, take a look and see what we've got at Popocatépetl, and take a look there real quick. And we'll go back to the wee hours here. Some nice view of the stars, and a few little puffs coming out of the volcano. Just wanted to get back to where that guy actually did come out, and that would be somewhere around here. Oh, I see moving things. Oh, yep, definitely a moving thing. Anyway, we see a little bit of a plume there with a little bit of back color, or a lighter color, likely a little bit of magma in that chamber, or in the caldera. Not too much though from the looks of it, and certainly not anything splashing out. And as we move ahead and get into the morning hours, really nothing major going on. We still see some stars there, 6:02 a.m. And as we progress, it really hasn't changed much. No snow on it, which is a good sign for them. If we move up in time a little bit, there were a few little puffs, but nothing really super till we got to about here. And yeah, 8:59, and that is a little on the slow side. Again, you know, if we compare it to what we had coming out from say Fuego, Fuego would just be blasting that out. This is like slow motion, really, seriously. And let's just expedite it a little bit by going ahead 5 seconds at a time. And you see how it just kind of meanders out of there, not in a hurry, and it looks like it's ready for a siesta or something like that. Anyway, not much to that. And then we got into clouds for a while, and I think we are still stuck in the clouds, of course, and that is pretty close to live, and this is live. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Going to the other view, we had similar propositions here. Basically a very nice night sky, and then you see the occasional puff coming out of it. Nice little sunrise, but nothing really to panic about, and there's that little puff that we seen just right at sunrise, and again, not very speedy. Going ahead a little bit here, we see that it wasn't in a hurry, and then of course, same thing, it does get into the clouds here in a little bit, and as we move along, yeah, actually it gets in the clouds real bad on this view. So we'll put that one back to live. We'll carry on. Yeah, you can see the clouds are still in there. Moving on, we're going to go from Popocatépetl, which is 70 kilometers south of Mexico. We're going to go to the next one, and that is Fuego, and the Fuego is in Guatemala, and that is a pretty awesome volcano, although it too likes to hide behind clouds a lot. It's camera shy. Anyway, let's see if we can find a couple of spots here where it was puffing a little bit, and let's back that up. It was just a little puffs coming out of there, like that guy. But you notice how much quicker that is moving in comparison to what we've seen from Popocatépetl. I'm gonna try to find a few others here in between, and it's always hard with this one where you try to find the clean spots and be able to show the actual eruption. This one should be okay here. And one of the things we noticed, even when it's just sitting there doing its thing, it is continuing to off gas, and that is something we didn't notice. A couple weeks, three weeks ago or so, it wasn't doing that, and it started to. It's almost like run continuously here, if you will. Anyway, this is another one of the little eruptions or blasts that it put out 7:29 a.m. this morning. Fairly quiet for the most part, and I think there was a bigger one somewhere around here a little bit earlier. And again, not seeing any lava when these guys are popping out. And that's kind of what we actually hope for. We want to see the lava, and it's hard to see it on this volcano. Of course, the volcano is over 12,000 feet up, and the camera is mounted on another volcano that is over on another mountain beside it, and that's actually about 7 kilometers away. So big difference. Anyway, we backed up to 4:51 a.m. and you can see it's throwing out some lava material there, rolling down the sides of the hill, doing its thing. 10 to 10 there in York. Oh, 10 to 10? All right, it's 10 to 3 here, or something like that. That's all right. I won't hold it against you. Anyway, let's get back to some of the bigger blasts here. Some of the chunks of tephra that are being ejected from this are literally the size of small cars. And you got to remember, we are about 7 miles away with the camera. So when you see some of those chunks, they are sizable, and you would not want to be in the way of them. And that's a pretty good blast right there. Yep, white lava. Nah, it's a trick of the camera. The lava is still its regular color, and that'll be a red or orange depending on the temperature. And unfortunately, they have this camera set on a black and white night mode to intensify the veracity of what's going on. You see a lot more detail with this. You don't see the actual lava. Otherwise, it'd go dark very quickly, and you wouldn't see too much. But hey, it is what it is, and that is a Fuego. And there was another real good one back a little further here, if we can still get to it. Yep, this one. Moonlit or backlit silhouetted clouds in the background here, and then a big blast that we've seen come out of this. And I'll just let it go here, and should blast out any second. And come on, blast out. Of course it is going to try, right? There it goes. And finally, all right. Wasn't as big as I figured, but still a nice little shot. The moonlit background is kind of cool, and silvery night. Yep, that's what we would call it that too. Anyway, looked not bad. Almost looks like a ghost coming out of there or something. But anyway, that's about it for that guy. Whoa, hang on, we'll let that play again here. There we go. That's the bigger one I was hoping for. And again, you see some of those chunks of tephra flying off of there. Huge pieces, and you don't want to be in the way of that. You end up getting a lava coat, and that's worse than getting concrete shoes. And you definitely don't want to be doing it. Anyway, that's kind of what we see at Fuego right now. And we'll put him back to live, and we'll see if it's still in the clouds. Yep, a little puff right there that came out, but it's right there in the cloud. You can see the tip right there for a second, but it's going to go away. The other volcanoes, Momotombo, not very visible today, hiding in the fog and the clouds as well. And so is San Cristobal, and there it is. Of course, you can see it, right? It's right there behind those clouds, I promise you. The changing clouds are pretty awesome. Anyway, let's put this back onto there. We're going to go take a look at Merapi really quick. And Merapi is relatively quiet today. And there we go on that screen. We have, hey, wow, Leo. Why, thank you very kindly, Leo Carlson. Thank you for that awesome super chat, Leo. I appreciate that. I gotta write that down. Got it. Okay, thank you kindly, Leo. All right, thank you, Doc. Appreciate what you do for us. Thank you, and awesome. Okay, do appreciate that support, Leo. I really do. Let's back this up a little bit, and we want to see if we can see any lava in the darkness. And not seeing a heck of a lot. Right now it's 2:20 or 6 minutes after 2. Almost looks like lava right there, but I don't think it is. I think their camera might have a drop of water on it or something on the lens. And if we go back a little bit more here, yeah, it looks like there's a drop of water on there, something getting a little bit of a lens flare, but not seeing anything really of interest coming out of this thing, and been pretty quiet. The one that actually is kind of more busy is Semeru, so let's go have a quick peek at Semeru. First we're going to go over to New Zealand, though. We're going to see if that's awake yet, and yeah, I don't think we're going to have much success looking at Mount Ruapehu today. The clouds are way too much, and let's get into the wee hours here. No, cloudy all the way back to to the sunrise. So nope, we're not going to see a darn thing. That is 6 a.m. and of course right now is 10:59 there. So we're not going to see anything at Mount Ruapehu. And if we go over to Simaru real quick, and we'll get him finished, and not seeing a heck of a lot right now there either. I see the redid their flow pattern with the little river thing down here. Pretty cool. And we'll back this up though, see if we can find some lava. 4 hours ago it was this kind of thing. Let's get to it. There we go. Does look like there's a little spatter of lava right there, and a little bit up in the cone. You can see that on the black and white shot here. A little bit of that lava. That's the difference in color to black and white. It shows up a lot better. Anyway, and we'll back that up a little bit more. And I know there were a lot of clouds around, so some of the stuff you couldn't see too well. Then is black and white as well. And you see the clouds just kind of hanging around the volcano, but a little bit of lava, that's all. Not as busy as it could have been. And of course prior to that it was raining, and we didn't like that. And there we go, a little bit more activity earlier at 1901 their time from yesterday. And if we go back earlier than that, it was in the fog, completely in the fog and rain over there. So we're not going to see that. And I think that is about it for there. Thor gifted one free membership, and wow, Sasha got it. That was pretty awesome. Thank you very kindly, Thor. And I'm going to write that down. Thor gifted one, and Sasha got that one membership, and that is awesome, and way to go. And Nancy Buchanan made it in. Welcome, Nancy. Glad to have you on board. Juliet is also here. Good to see you. And on that friendly note, it is time for me to go get a break. Going to put you back on some canned lava. And let's see, where am I clicking? How about right here? And we'll get that canned lava going again. And for all those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit the like button, please do help us out. If you like the show and are enjoying it, do hit that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing if you feel we've earned it. And on that friendly note, I'm going to go take a 5-minute break or thereabouts. And after we come back from the break, we'll show some bacon seeds. And I know everybody always likes bacon seeds. It's the only way we go. All right. Be good, be kind, and stick around, you guys. I'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks. And the microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you on board. And Nancy, I'm just reading that you fell off the 50-foot ladder. Wow. The first rung. And anyway, I'll address something there in a second. Thank you for the welcome backs from Albagirl and Leo and Sasha, and I hear you from Sharon Stewart, all good, and John Raper and Kevin and Thor and Sharon. No, hang on. No, we got Sharon already. Kevin Williams, thanks, and Nancy says, Dr. Fox, see my second post? I was on the first rung. Yeah, and what I was going to address is, believe it or not, and I actually, because I was on a safety council, we did a study, and believe it or not, it is majority of ladder accidents happen on the first rung. That's where most people hurt themselves, is on that first rung. That's when they step up onto it, and 9 times out of 10 the thing falls over on them. But believe it or not, that's where most of the accidents and with a ladder happen, is that very first step. So Nancy, you're part of the team. And you don't have to be at the top. You can be right at the bottom and still boo-boo. It happens. And to be honest with you, it happened to me too, once, and only once. You learn very quickly, and yeah. It was just a joke. Yeah. Okay. All right. Those what? I can. Don't lose those phone numbers. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm reading something else. I'm going to stop our canned lava, and we need to save that can. Otherwise, we're going to use it all. We don't want to use it all. We want to keep some for a break or something. But anyway, let's leave that there. Let's go over and have a look at our bacon seeds. And of course, that is our next thing on the agenda. Yeah, backup is important. Okay, yep. Paper backup is always important. And I'm waiting for the computer to move over to our bacon seeds. Will it or will it not? There it goes. And there's that cute one from yesterday, the last one. That, of course, piggies in a blanket. And we'll carry on with today's. Here's a pretty blue-eyed one, and he looks like he's looking right into the camera going, what do you want? Awesome to see that wonderful little bunny, or piggy, I mean, not bunny. Holy mackerel. By the way, during the break, I went and looked at a bunny. And speaking of bunnies, here's a sheep, and this sheep, of course, is grazing in the pastures. Oh, wait, hang on. This is an imposter. It's not a sheep. It's also not a bunny. That looks like a piggy. And, awesome, you guys, and we cuddle like that. Who would dress their pig up as a sheep? Like, I mean, really. Like, as if bacon isn't tasty enough. Now you got to make it into a sheep. Yep, pretty awesome. A sheep, yeah, a pig in a sheep's clothing. Always dangerous when that happens, right? Let's carry on and take a look at the next one. And of course, this guy is having a nap. He's got his pillow fluffed up just right behind him. Nice blue blanket on top. And getting ready for bedtime there. So I'm pretty awesome. Pulling the wool over its eyes. John. Right on. And next one is this little squealer. And he has a smile on his face. He's not sure if he's going to like that girl though, but he is there. And he is still smiling, so it's got to be fairly good. I think they like being held on to. And next bacon seed is this one. Oh, we've got 3 of them. And one looks like he's out of gas. He's having a nap attack. Either that or he's really getting down there snuffling the ground just like the others. I hope everything is okay for him. But yep, the 3 amigos. And that is pretty cool. And of course they have racing stripes, so we know they are fast pigs. And the trio, yep. And our last bacon seed for today, yeah, stripy ones. Yeah, it's showing you where the bacon strips are. And of course these are the cuter ones for today. This is our last little group or pair. And they look cute. Tiny little guys. Good looking, well fed and everything, but very, very nice. I like that. The little black and white, real cute. Awesome stuff. Anyway, that's our bacon seeds for today, and we thank Peggy for all of them, and she did a wonderful job getting those in this morning in between her power outages, and that was very, very good of her, and that is awesome. So let's carry on with our next volcano, and of course that is in Japan. So we will go over there and have a look at how about Sakurajima. Sakurajima is steaming mad at dirt, and there it is. Looks like they've got a fairly cloudy day, and I noticed on these very cloudy, humid days, the plumes usually seem to pick up a lot more moisture and look thicker. So pretty cool. Scott Hartman, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. Anyway, if we back up about, let's see, just an hour, just to kind of see it during the daylight yet, it was doing kind of the same thing. Nothing really spectacular. And if we go back about 4 hours, hardly anything coming out at that point. A little further back, we did have a little bit of a plume right around here. And we'll expedite that by making it go a little faster, 5 seconds at a time. And of course, it being a somewhat moonlit night through the thinner cloud layer up top right now, it kind of lit it up a little bit, so you can see that darker ash in comparison to the lighter, just regular steam and off-gassing and stuff, the gases that are coming out. So a lot of ash and material in that plume as it continued for a little while, and then of course it dissipated as well as we go ahead here a bunch, and you can see it just kind of melted into the other one. And going back a little further, we get all the way back into the daytime beforehand, previous day, or almost, well, 1931. That's we can actually go all the way back. There we go. They give us that extra 4 hours, so there we go. And that is back to yesterday, their time, 14:33, and again still pluming off like that. Lots of gas coming out, but nothing really dangerous or anything like that. No major eruptions right now. But it is still deemed very active. Ice cream boat is in for those who wish to go get an ice cream, and we'll get that quality up there. There we go. You can see the ice cream boat is there, and of course Sakurajima in the background here, off-gassing as normal. So nothing too weird, too wild, or too exciting, unfortunately. Close-up cam, there it is, of the crater, And again, you can see most of that steam slash smoke slash gas is a very light in color, so very little tephra in there. Likely a bunch of SO2 and stuff though, and we'll see what that looks like on our charts when we get to them. And we'll leave that one there. I want to go back to that shot, and then we'll go over to ASO and see what ASO looks like this early morning in Japan. And of course a lot of clouds over top of it right now. We do see it off steaming here, and of course it's got a lake inside that caldera, and of course the floor inside that lake is quite hot yet, and that causes our steam to come up from the floor, and with heating up that water that's sitting in there. And as I always mention, if we ever had a nasty earthquake in one of these places where we've got a lake inside the caldera, if the caldera cracks open on the floor, we definitely would end up with some water getting down in there. And if it penetrated all the way down into the magma chamber, that would flash to steam right away. And of course, in comparison to water, steam is about 100 times the volume. Hence, 1 gallon of steam will equal, 1,000 gallons of steam. Yeah, 1 gallon of water is 1,000 gallons of steam. So, makes a big bang real quick, and you get successive bangs as the first one opens up a bigger hole, and then more water comes in, and that more water, of course, instead of being 1 gallon, it might be 100, and that is just exponential at that point, and you end up with some very, very nasty blasts. Anyway, we'll leave that guy there. Next guy on our agenda is, that is live, by the way. I just wanted to double check that. I hit the live button. Okay, yeah, it is. That's exactly where we're at. Next one is Taal, and there is Taal in the Philippines. It is being fairly quiet right now. We do see a little bit of a steam plume, and nothing major coming out of it, and certainly not billowing in any way, shape, or form. Just some very light steaming happening. And of course, as we mentioned about the calderas with lakes in them, this is one of them, and the same thing applies. If we had a good earthquake there and that cracked open, you'd have some very, very rough and wild explosions, and we hope those things don't happen, but that can happen in there. And that's kind of it for that one. Fairly quiet and steady as she goes. And by the way, hi Trevor T. Wonky Donkey, welcome. And why are you munching pizza? Are you hungry? Actually, I was thinking pizza might be a good supper tonight. I haven't had pizza for at least a week. So anyway, looking at this steamy situation with snow in the background. Of course, this is Yellowstone National Park, and that is where our Yellowstone super volcano is. And of course, there are over 500 active geysers in the Yellowstone National Park in the United States. And you guys are all welcome to go to that link. I see Leo brought it up, and that is this particular link. It does have the embedded video we're watching now, as well as maps of where the other geysers are, and other still cam views from the entire area, the ones that are working anyway, and a pretty awesome site to have as a bookmark in case you ever want to go take a look at it. And very, very cool. And I'll leave that guy be, since they're just showing a bunch of steam and not really seeing anything else other than the snowy background there, the ground being covered with snow in Yellowstone. And Yellowstone is up a little higher than some of the other elevation areas there, and that's why we see so much of that. Anyway, going over to our next shot, that is Hawaii. And of course, this was from 2026, yesterday. That is the lava pond inside the caldera of Kilauea. And we do have the feed point here for that lava pond is down at this end, pouring the lava in. And you see some of the glow spots. And of course, that is where the crust, when it comes out of there, it crusts over. And where the crusts are crunching together, you get some of the bright lines, but also these lighter spots are gas bubbles bubbling back up, and that is likely where the lava is draining back out of that lava pond, going down back into the magma chamber, or whatever is down underneath there. Nobody is 100% sure where it's going to, but we know the process of what's going on. The lava is draining, the gas bubbles are moving up because gravity pulls the lava down, and gas bubbles are lighter, and they want to go up and pop through the thin crust that's on top of that lava. Anyway, that's what it looks like there. And you do see the toe area has got a little bit of light, but not much. I think that thing might be done. We're going to refresh that picture, take a look at what it looks like right now. There it is. And again, the primary port here for the input is over here from the lava tube, and you can see it actually kind of gets broken up as it goes along. We do see this area as a hot spot right now, and possibly some lava draining out underneath there. There's your toe area in the background. I'm not seeing any major changes in it. Still looks fairly low. And we do see a brighter area here, so possibly a drain point there. And of course, along this back wall, we see that all the time. It has cleaned itself up. We had all that rubble laying here yesterday, and it has cleaned a lot of it up. It hasn't cleaned this area up yet, but it has cleaned up all that rubble that was here and recycled it. So that has now gone down into the abyss of the lava pond, and we won't ever see it again. Or if we do, we wouldn't recognize it. Peter is here. Welcome, Peter, and glad to have you on board. Next shot, of course, from last night. That's what it looked like. A primary vent is right there. There's the little hornito, and the lava tube would be hiding underneath here, but that is the shot as you see it. If we refresh that, daytime shot for today, in the shade of a cloud, so hard to see. Primary vent right there, little hornito right there, lava pond there. We do still see some off-gassing from the caldera walls in the backside here. Wow, this level of caldera wall, anyway, the next level is up here, right? So different levels. Anyway, this one too is still off-gassing fairly high up. And again, still keeping an eye on this for a future stuff going on. And next one, of course, this one doesn't look quite as brilliant, but that is from the other side of the caldera. There's your lava pond. We don't see the toe area at all. We do see a couple other bright spots just behind Pig Island out here, and that is the primary vent there. There's the little hornito, and of course the lava comes in on this end of the lava pond. And refreshing that to a daytime shot, there you go, and we'll zoom that a little. There's Pig Island. There's the spots where that glow spot was. Toe area, lava pond, of course. Extra smoker over here, and you can't see the hornito, but you can in this picture see kind of a really dark line right there. That is the top of the lava tube, and that is pretty awesome that we can see that. Very cool. Let's take a look at the thermal image, and this was from last night. Again, a primary vent right there, lava hornito right there, lava tube underneath. You don't see it. There's your toe area and your primary vent. And we can't see too well around the edges in this shot. Maybe a little better in the daytime shot. There's the daytime one, and we do see that extra lava spot out there now, and makes a guy wonder, we got something happening there. Anyway, there's your hornito, and of course our primary vent sitting here, the toe area right about there. You do see a little bit lighter stuff all the way around. This in the middle here, though, is fairly thick lava, and that has cooled off. It's become an island, really, but it is a porous island. That means there are places that are thinner and places that are thicker. Some of the hot spots that you see on occasion will push up and through, so that is kind of what we're seeing there. In time, you know, if we have a lot of magma level increase and decrease, it could break up that lava and allow it to basically recycle in the lava pond underneath it, or the magma area. So that is pretty cool. One last shot, and this was up here on the Mauna Loa. And Mauna Loa last night, and Mauna Loa today is like this. So that is pretty cool and pretty calm looking. Nothing major going on there at Mauna Loa. Yeah, Mauna Loa. A big caldera though. It just blows me away. I just don't want to see that all go at once. Anyway, it is break time, you guys, and let's get you back over on the canned lava for right now. I am going to take a little bit of a break, and thank you, Leo, for throwing that in there and reminding me. That's always important. And I get sidetracked easily by little squirrels and things. Anyway. We'll throw this canned lava back on. I'll throw some music back on for you. And hit that like button if you haven't hit it yet. Also, if you are new and you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing if you feel that we've earned it. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000. I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away. More to come. Thank you. You dropped a Rolo? Oh no. Juliet, how could you drop a Rolo chocolate on the floor? Oh no. Oh boy. You lost all that credibility. Oh, I haven't had a Rolo for a long time. 5-second rule, I eat it. There you go. Oh, thank you for the welcome backs from Alba Girl and Kevin Haynes and John Raper and what, Lizoid, after 6 years, I just connected a TV to the bedroom, to the internet so I can watch you while I'm sleeping. Wow, Lizoid, awesome. And I can hear you from Sharon Stewart, and thanks Leo and Sasha, and okay, a 5-second rule, good to eat, yeah. Oh, and thanks Philomena and Grandma B. And yeah, that 5-second rule, it really, you got to take that into consideration as to where it is, okay? So there's some places where the 5-second rule just does not apply, all right, no matter what. Anyway, John Raper says, I can hear you, Dr. Fox. Way to go, John. And glad that you can hear me. Anyway, let's stop our canned lava. Let's get that can stopped. Hang on, how come that's on the wrong lava can? I'm on the wrong lava can. Oh no, I was on the right lava can. Why is that not showing? There we go, I stopped it. Oh, that's because it was darn near at the end. Okay, well, I'll leave it there. All right, and we'll go back over and take a look at the earthquakes that we had around our wonderful hey, Kevin Haynes throws in a $2 super chat. Kevin Haynes, there we go, and got that written down, and thank you very kindly for that wonderful super chat. Good night until we meet again, and good night, Kevin. Thank you kindly for your support. And let's zoom in on what we're seeing on the Hawaiian Islands for earthquakes. And I see a couple rumblings up on top of Mauna Loa. We'll get to those shortly. Let's take a look at the Pahala area first, and we'll see what we've got. Pahala, of course, depths of those quakes are somewhere between 26 and 37 kilometers, and they're all in that same playground zone. So we won't worry about exactly where they are, but they're down there. Anyway, 1.8, 16 is the time on that guy. Zooming in a little bit more, that's quite a bit offshore. And next one, a little closer to the shore, 2.0 was from 1127. And let's get these ones on the west side here first. 2.1 on 1926 yesterday. Then we've got a 2.2 from 59 minutes after midnight. Then we have a 2.5, a little bit bigger, yesterday's as well, 22:29 was the time. And then we've got a 2.3 from yesterday as well at 22:31. That is it for the actual Pahala area. Let's take a look at some of these others here. 1.9, 8:20 a.m. for him. And 2.8, a little bit bigger, and that is yesterday's from 1954, and that is it for the Pahala region as we see it. Now let's go up here on Mauna Loa, and we're going to take a look at these brand new ones first, and we'll take a look at this. It's a 1.8, happened at 1450, 21 kilometers below sea level. This one here is a 2.0 from 1519, 400 meters below sea level. And quite a big difference between the depths of the two, but let's look at these other ones here. 1.8 from 6:29 a.m. That is into the mountain, 1.6 kilometers above sea level. Then 2.4, 6:11 a.m., 600 meters above sea level for him. And this one 2.1 and 6:11 as well. 2.2 kilometers above sea level, getting closer to the top, still a kilometer and some down though. And this 2.3 is from 12:55, and it was 1.1 kilometers above sea level. So that's what we see there. Good night, Alba Girl. If you're leaving, take care. I have to go now. Thank you, Dr. Fox, for a great stream. Thank you, mods and Lava family. And see ya, Alba Girl. Be good and stay safe, most of all. And let's look at what we've got over here at Kilauea. It looks like we've got 4 quakes around the area. This one looking like the bigger one, 2.5, 13 minutes after midnight. And that is 1.6 kilometers below sea level. This one here, 2.2. And that is 800 meters below sea level. Was yesterday's at 23:11. And then we have this guy here, 2.0411 a.m. and 1.7 kilometers below sea level. And then another 2.0, 900 meters below sea level from 411 as well. And that's all we see in that area for right now. Looking really quickly here, that caldera, of course, looks like a lot emptier than the one we were just looking at. But if you can imagine a little bit more lava in there, and of course the level of lava is right around 144 meters from the floor of the caldera up to the lava level, and that is roughly 470 feet, and the volume is around 111 million cubic meters, or if you want in gallons, 29.2 billion gallons. Of course, this thing has been in an eruptive state since September 21st of last year. So a lot going on there. Anyway, we'll zoom out, take a look at the rest of the world, shaker-wise, and see what we've got going on. First thing that comes to mind is this 5.1 up here in Alaska. And that was from 3:02 a.m., 48.3 kilometers down. Looking at the tsunami report here, and no tsunami warning, and we can leave that go and not worry about it. So that is up here in the Aleutian Islands. He had some other friends as well, really small ones, and then a moderate size here, 4.6 from yesterday at 1911. What was the time on this one? It was, 3:02 a.m. But yeah, so I don't know if that's a precursor to it. The other ones are relatively small, and I'm not going to worry about those. And really nothing major. 3.8 there at Colorado City, Arizona. A little unusual, but that is interesting. And then we also see this guy out here in west of Portland, Colorado, 2.2, and that is from yesterday at 22:47. When was this one from? From 4:39 a.m. 15.4 kilometers down for that. Kind of odd places. And anyway, going down here, Peru 5.0 and 1:08 a.m. 25.3 kilometers down. And then we've got a 4.6 over here in Chile from 1916, and that's 112 kilometers down. Looking at what we've got in New Zealand, it's all quiet and not doing too much. And where did I zoom into there? Oh, that little island. Yeah, I was curious about that. Anybody know anything about this little island? Is it for sale? Can we have it? Can we live on there? Oh, they got a road. I wonder if they got an airport. Looks like a settlement right here. At least one person lives there, or a couple. Some boats there. Pretty awesome. I never knew that island existed. I always wondered what that little blip was. But that is cool and awesome, and of course that'll subduct in a bunch of millions of years underneath everything else, and we won't see it anymore. Looking up a little bit down the Kermadec Ridge, not seeing much till we get over here, Tonga, Tonga area, 4.1, and that was from 1:21 a.m., 245 kilometers down, and Solomon Islands out here, I think, is no, still Tonga, 4.9. Yesterday's at 21:14, 10 kilometers down, and they're calling this one Tonga as well. But there's the American Samoa Islands, is what it is. American Samoa's right there. So they may have felt a little bit of that 4.8, and that is in 1854 yesterday, 10 kilometers down for them. And let's carry on with what we've got here. Vanuatu had one here, 4.4. From 1948 yesterday, 216 kilometers down. We're seeing another one over here, Papua New Guinea, 4.9, 59.9 kilometers down from 2001 yesterday. And looking here in the Philippines, we see this one still considered Indonesia. I think that one is the Philippines, 4.9, and that was from today at 11:40, 10 kilometers down. A reasonable size, and this one is a 5.6. Oh, that's actually still Indonesia. I don't know where the cutoff line is here for where the Philippines start, probably right around here somewhere, but 5.6, 1803 yesterday, 239.3 kilometers down. We are not seeing anything else in the rest of the Philippines, which is really good. Sliding up a little bit, pretty quiet in Japan until we get to the northern end of 5.2, and this is okay, never mind. It's considered Russian area, but not so close to Japan. I'm just going to call it Japanese for now. And let's go over here. India, 4.6 from 2103 yesterday, 21.4 kilometers down for him. And Afghanistan, 4.4, 1:05 a.m., 202 kilometers down for that one. And the next one up here in Uzbekistan, and that is 4.6, and that is from 21:56 yesterday, 10 kilometers down. Don't see any new ones out here for Piggy, and which is really good. She doesn't need any more shaking. They've got that storm happening out here, and she's losing power again, and that's why she is probably not in the stream right now. Not seeing too much else here other than down South Africa, we see a 4.5 and 1:29 a.m., kind of odd, 10 kilometers down. Mid-Atlantic Ridge, southern end, 5.2. And that is from yesterday at 21:51 as well. Just wanted to peek in here. This is a little bit on the big side for these two guys here. 3.3 U.S. Virgin Islands, 8:30 this morning, 26.1 kilometer down. 3.5, 20:06 yesterday at 20 kilometers down. Makes you wonder what is going on there. But subduction. And that is what we've got, and you will be subducted, and you have no choice, according to the plates and the Mother Nature. Who's your mod today? Well, C&D Boy is here. We see him, and Gary was here, and Arizona was here. So I don't know, Philomena. You pick one of those three, or all three of them. They're all handsome guys. And yeah, I don't know if they're available for dating, but they're all handsome guys. Anyway, okay, let's carry on with a little bit more fun here. And we're moving on. We already looked at the Azores. We had a general look around the planet. And let us look at the Canary Islands and see what we've got there for shakers and quakers. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I want to see, yeah, nothing new up here. This one we looked at yesterday or a day before from the 4th, and just a little guy up on the East Azores fault. So our stuff here on La Palma, we want to see what's going on there today and see how many quakes we had. And really not that many, only 3. And there we go, one right over where Cumbre Vieja was, and is a 1.3 from 3:53 a.m., 3 kilometers down. Then we've got a 1.5, and that is right up top on the center of the ridge, and that is 5 kilometers down from 1204. And then of course we had the other one, a 1.3 from 1629, and that is the star, and it's 7 kilometers down for that guy. So that is the extent of what we've got on our La Palma today. Only the 3 small quakes, and I don't believe that there's going to be anything imminent there at all. We'll leave it. I wouldn't know if I've ever seen what any of the 3 look like to be saying that they are handsome. Well, you know, I've seen the snowman. You know, the snowman. You see his hat and his white cheeks and the carrot nose and stuff. I gotta say, that's pretty handsome, isn't it? Anyway, and as far as Gary's mugshot, I don't know. It looks kind of like an alien, but besides, Gary is taken, and so is CNBO. Arizona Snowman is happily married and has some lovely children and grandchildren. So I don't think they're going to go for it. I don't know about that C&D boy. He kind of flirts a lot with the girls, so he might sneak out there. But anyway, we'll leave that be. We won't tell his wife, I promise. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Well, hey, that's Gary. Gary isn't from this planet, you know. It's pretty normal. It's all right. I'll leave it at that. Too much fun. Anyway, looking at our volcano map, I really haven't seen any changes on here at all today. I do see some of the quakes that were out there before, but not anything really wild or weird, and that is kind of what we've got. Now, if we turn on that button, there you see all the green ones. Those are all the quiet ones. We'll call them dormant, and they're not dead, they're dormant. The black ones, on the other hand, those are dead. They're not doing anything anymore. But that is what we see. So you do have one right here, and you know, Leo didn't realize he had a volcano in his backyard. Pretty awesome, and all kinds of them all over the place. Just when you think that you knew everything, and then you turn on the volcano map and find out that there's a whole bunch of other ones. Anyway, we'll turn off that, and we'll take a look at these. Of course, we've got 40-some eruptive volcanoes around the world right now, and out of those, I think it's 26 are red or very active, and that's about the size of it. And that also includes down here in the Antarctic, Erebus, and I haven't seen any reports from it as of late, but hey, it is located in a very remote location, so very hard to tell anything. Looking at what we've got, though, I don't see any real changes anywhere. Not in Indonesia, and nothing major going on. No new ones there, no nothing new there. Kamchatka, all still the same. Same goes for our Aleutian Islands up here. And of course, Hawaii still has R2. And I wish Mauna Loa would get off of it and start doing something. I really do. I wish that would definitely start erupting or something, and hopefully only small eruptions. And would be nice to see something different. And Central America really not any different either. So that's kind of what we've got. And that's it for that portion. If we go over to the weather map next, what we'll do is actually I go to the SO2 map, and we'll refresh that. By the way, I just finished 24 hours of snow, and then we get 24 hours of reprieve, and then tomorrow we'll get another 24 hours of snow. And isn't that lovely, living in the Great White North? It is break time, you guys, and we'll leave that up there. Actually, I'm going to refresh that one. While that's refreshing, I'm going to put you back on the canned lava. And hopefully we've got enough people hitting that like button. I see we are at 86 likes. If you guys are in here, if you are enjoying the show, please help us out. It is the cheapest and most economical way to get the supporting of the stream. Really, it's the easiest way. Hit that like button. I do want to mention I did throw out one membership gift earlier. I still have not seen anyone get it. I don't know if anyone has seen that, if somebody had gotten it, but I just want to remind everyone, for those who are not members, if you don't have your membership opt-in thing turned on, you're not going to get it. So Hermione got it? Oh, extra. Oh, you did, Hermione? Is that who got it? All right. Okay. Well, if you got it, that's excellent, Hermione. If that is correct. And that's cool. Awesome. Okay, on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta. Oh, no, you didn't get it. You thumbed up. Okay, I get what you meant. I thought you got it. And, all right, no worries. Hopefully somebody is going to get it. I just want to remind everyone to make sure that you have your opt-in button turned on so you can get them. And again, I'm not 100% sure what device you're using, but it's a little different on some. And you'll have to take a look at some of the opt-in for gift membership in YouTube there. I just type that in, and they'll have a bunch of videos that'll tell you how to turn that on. On that note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, and I am going to go take a break. Don't go away. We've got SO2 report and then the weather to go, and we'll see what we can do. I'll be back. Keep smiling. And welcome back, or welcome everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. And yes, Leo, that sure does look like a Roman helmet. It did, anyway. That is all awesome. And thank you for the welcome backs from Leo and Sasha and John and Henry and Philomena and Hermione. And I hear you from Sharon Stewart. Awesome. And of course, there is our devil's vents, the two horns coming out of there, and that is pretty cool. Actually, there were multiple vents going at that particular instance. I think there were like 3 or 4, but pretty cool view and very awesome. Anyhow, let's park that canned lava for right now. We're going to stop it in its tracks. If I can get on the right file here, and there we go. I'll park it, and we'll actually back that up a little bit so we can play that at the end. 10 minutes worth, maybe a little bit more. We'll give them a little bit, like 16 minutes. No, maybe 15 minutes. How about there? Yeah, that'll work. Okay, we'll leave that be, and then that'll be for after the stream. And let us get on to our SO2 map. That's where we were going next. I have that up on my screen and just waiting for the computer to switch the software, and that should happen fairly quick. There we go. And there of course is our next bout of snow coming on Monday, lasting till Tuesday morning. So a little more than 24 hours in that shot. Anyway, looking at North America, looking pretty darn clean as far as SO2 today. Northern areas up here in the, well, even up here in Alaska, we're starting to see some blue shining through. The Yukon, Northwest Territories, and none of it have pretty much none of it. And looking at the Canadian areas, we do have some kind of swirling around this system here, and I'm wondering if some of that was brought up from Vancouver and so on, and just twirling around right now because they do have the storm out on that system. And we also see our stuff here in Alberta and Saskatchewan, and remnants of what was blowing over, I guess. Looking at the rest of Canada, not overly bad. We do see Ontario's fairly high, fairly dense populations there though, so that's what we kind of see. And then further out in Quebec, Newfoundland, Labrador, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, and the other areas like New Brunswick, very clean for the most part. Looking at the U.S., nothing outrageous or unreal, pretty normal for what we see, and we don't have that big ridge line in there today, and most of that has moved over, and hopefully they're not getting too cold on this side, on the Great Lakes side. Sliding down a little bit more, Central America, we still have the systems here that are going around really weird, like, and there looks like a high here, so clockwise is a high, counterclockwise is a low in the northern hemisphere, and that's what we're seeing there. So that high is trying to keep the SO2 mostly in Mexico, from Popocatépetl and Mexico City, of course. And then when we look at the other areas, we got all kinds of different circulations here. And yeah, this being a high over here, this is a low over here, and this is a storm coming in, and we'll see how that builds up. This is also a high, and as soon as you get down to the equator, things reverse as far as the highs and lows, the way things are flowing around them. But looking at Central and South America, pretty normal. We do see everything still heading inland and over, trying to get over the continent, back out into the Atlantic Ocean. Some of it not making it here, ending up in Argentina from Chile, and that's what we've got going on there. sliding over a little bit and taking a look and seeing what we got from White Isle volcano. Definitely still off-gassing, and that is the only spot in New Zealand. Looks like a lot of stuff down here, and surely that can't be all Leo's barbecue and the refineries. There's got to be some other people involved, maybe a second or third barbecue going, and we'll see what happens. And of course, up here you see a heavier spot. That is where the coking plants are, and they are coking some coal for steel manufacturing and possibly barbecues. Leo's barbecue specifically. And of course, here we see Tofua in Tonga still doing his thing, her thing, and White Isle, or sorry, not White Isle, Home Reef volcano not doing anything there anymore. And we see Vanuatu pretty normal, actually a little lighter than normal from the two up in the top, and pretty easy going in Papua New Guinea today, and about the same here in our wonderful Indonesian area. Luolatok right about there, making that plume. And this one here would be from Sakurajima. No, how about Semaru? I'll take that. That's better. Semaru. And Sakurajima's way up in Japan. What am I doing? And this one is Merapi. And of course, Krakatau and Jakarta over here doing their thing. And I know what I'm doing. I'm thinking about supper, and I'm thinking that pizza sounded like a good idea. Anyway, Ibu and Dakono are doing this right here, and then you'll have Mayon and Bulusan right in here, continuing to do its thing, and of course looking at where Taal is, Taal Lake, and of course a very heavy population in this area, and that is Manila. So you've got some people pollution there and here, and of course the rest would be from the volcanoes. Looking at what we see here in China, that is all people pollution. Same thing with Taiwan, Suwanoshi-jima in Japan down here, and it throwing off a lot of stuff. Also, Sakurajima is being really bad, throwing out a lot of SO2, and that's what we see going up there. And sliding up to the Kamchatka Peninsula, a lot easier going from Ibiko and Chikarachki, and nothing, looks like nothing coming from a Lade out here. And then Karimsky, they're still doing its thing. And of course, we are likely going to have more volcanoes in the area here eventually, but most of that is pretty normal. So we've got Shivlush up on the top, and Bezimiani in the middle here doing its thing. And like I say, boy, China really looks dirty. And looking at India, they got some heavy plumes in here too, so careful what you're breathing. And looking at what we see further down, we see this kind of looks funny. Anyway, seeing that off of South America, not bad. South Africa, pretty normal for them. Same thing with DR Congo. A couple volcanoes there and some coking plants. This is just human pollution. And going up here, this little wow out here, that is Urta Ale, and it is still active. And these other spots, of course, are the refineries, Kuwait, Baghdad, and of course here in Saudi Arabia, a couple of spots. Looking at what Etna is throwing out, and we see this wonderful plume, and that is going all the way around here. And the storm in the area, which is Eva, is what it is called. Karen got my gift. Karen was gifted a membership by Dr. Fox. Congratulations, Karen. You're lucky and also awesome. and thanks for popping in. Anyway, looking here, so we see what we've got coming off of Etna, and of course Stromboli and Volcano helping a little bit there. And that is kind of it for our SO2 report. Very little coming off of Iceland, and I'm not even going to worry about that. Very little in France, Germany, Holland, Belgium, and a little heavier up in the northern portions of Germany, I guess. Pretty easy in Denmark, though, and nothing to talk about in the other countries here, other than Poland, is pretty heavy as far as SO2. Norway, Sweden, and Finland are very clean as well. Let's go over to our weather map. I did refresh it just before the show here. It's 1600, and that's not going to make any difference now. Looking at the top, very cold up in the Arctic, and we'll zoom in a little bit. So up here in Alaska, some of the colder areas, 25, 26, 27 degrees Celsius. Very cold up there in the interior. The coastal areas a lot warmer, of course. The Yukon, same kind of temperatures, 29 degrees. Wow, that is getting down there. And that kind of stuff will end up flowing down on top of us here in Alberta. Hopefully, we won't get that for a while. And looking up in the other portions of Northwest Territories, and none of it. We see that we want none of it. And there we go. Really cold stuff coming in through the Rocky Mountains. And of course, the upper areas here, quite cold and not so good. Here's that storm off the coast of Vancouver. Vancouver Island, and we know that they're getting hit pretty bad with some rain showers and things like that. 3 Celsius in Vancouver. Edmonton, of course, right now is about minus 13 C, and that's what's outside right now. And of course, Winnipeg, 1 degree. They're kind of out of the cold, but not for long. We have that low working for us. That's going to pull that cold air in there. Bottom end of Ontario looking quite warm. Toronto coming in at about 13. Montreal, wow, 16 degrees. Look at this warm air. This high has been sitting here for a couple of days, and that's probably a good thing, keeping everybody warm. And I'm sure Sue Hayes is enjoying that a whole bunch. Anyway, this is, wow, some of the temperatures up to 20 degrees. There in New Brunswick, and the same thing goes for some places here in Nova Scotia, and that is pretty awesome to see those warm temps for that area. And of course, that is that high. It's pushing everything up. It's no longer grabbing cold air. It's pushing warm air up, and that is even keeping New York and Boston and those places warm. Most of Newfoundland here are fairly warm, but you get the colder side up on the north and northeastern side, and then you get up into Labrador and the top of our wonderful Quebec up there. They're dealing with that low sitting on the side of Hudson's Bay. Anyway, let's take a look at the U.S. real quick. Warmed up a little bit there in around the Spokane area and the like in there. That is considered a desert zone anyway, but nice to see that it is a little bit warmer there. The rest of the area is not so good. Portland coming in at 5 or 6 degrees Celsius. Once we get down and take a look at our San Jose, I was seeing 16. And of course, we talked about Death Valley already. And Death Valley, of course, not that cold. And That's 24 degrees Celsius. That's not bad at all for right now. But with the first rain in 110 years being recorded there in Death Valley on November 3rd is really amazing. And talk about climate change, eh? First rain in 110 years. That's pretty wild. Phoenix coming in at about 25 degrees Celsius today. Zooming out just a little bit more here, looking at New Mexico. They've warmed up a whole bunch as well, which is really good. Hey, Robert Frary, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And looking at bottom end of Texas, San Antonio coming in at about 30, Austin coming 26, and 28 in Houston. Beautiful warm temperatures. I'm liking that. I like those warm temps. And then as we move over across the eastern side, actually we should take a look up here first. We see that stuff, that cold stuff coming through, and it almost bends over here. Wow, we see the really cold stuff gets into North Dakota, but South Dakota still in the single digits. And you don't warm up till you get a little further south, and that is okay. Like even in Iowa, a little bit on the cold side here. Minnesota, Minneapolis coming in at about 7 degrees, and hopefully that'll go back north and keep up there. Anyway, down on the bottom here we see places like Arkansas, not bad, and getting into Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Some really nice temps down on the bottom. Even the Appalachians are warmed up a bunch, which is really nice to see. And Atlanta coming in at about 24 degrees right now there in Georgia, and down all the way down and around. Looking here at the weather in Florida, looks pretty warm to me, 26, 27 for the most part. Coastal areas holding some reasonable temperatures around 70, 72, 75 degrees along the coast, Fahrenheit wise. Looking at about 71, 72 there for Grandma B. And Charlotte, according to this map, about the same, maybe just a tad cooler, 20 degrees Celsius. Virginia Beach in the wind a little bit more, and 19, and New York at 19, Boston at 19 as well. So looking pretty cool and or warm. I like it. A little bit more heat. And of course the Mexico is starting to warm back up as well, which is really nice to see. They've got some good temperatures there in the 30, 33, 34 degrees. Let's see, Cancun coming in at about 27 today. I don't like that storm sitting there, and that is going to get bigger. This 97L will probably help it, and we'll see what happens. Going down through Central America, good temperatures till, wow, you get the highlands here are going to be cooler all the time, but the jungle areas, if you will, are doing very, very well, 29, 30 degrees, and maybe a little bit higher in some spots of the entire Amazon basin and Amazon in general, what they call the jungle area, the rainforests. And not till you get down here and we see single digits in a couple of spots, but Rio de Janeiro coming in about 19, Sao Paulo about 15, and look at the heat build up in Argentina, 32 degrees in some places, and wow, 30 for the most part along the entire interior coastline or interior mountain line here, because you got mountains over here, and that's what the cold stuff is. So looking pretty good there, really. Even Uruguay, 21, 22 degrees on the bottom about 16, 17, so not bad. Paraguay holding in nicely as well with some of those higher temperatures. So looking really good there. Bottom end of Chile, even not bad. 9, 10 degrees, and that is nice for them. Looking at New Zealand, wow, did it ever warm up, and that is nice. We see the eastern side really quite warm on the South Island, up to 20 degrees, and the western side a little bit on the cool stuff again, about around that 9, 10, 11 mark. North Island, 19, 18, depending on where you are. Higher elevations a little bit, you get a little cooler, but good temperatures there. And looking at, thanks Leo, Taupo, the volcano and lake area, 14 degrees Celsius, and that is a little bit higher in elevation, of course, and that is right in here. So a little cooler there, but the outsides look pretty awesome and nice and warm. And Leo brought up Melbourne's temperature, and it says here 21 degrees, not too bad for there. Looking at Hobart down here in Tasmania, coming in at 15, and that's really nice. And they've got all the way up to about 18, 19, 20 up on the coast. Pretty awesome. A little cooler down in the southern ends though, but still a lot warmer than what they've been in the last little while. Adelaide coming in about 23, 24, depending on where we point, 19 degrees or so, and Sydney sliding up to Brisbane, seeing that wonderful balmy 22 degrees Celsius there, and popping over to Perth, and there we go, we see 16 Celsius there. Low sitting out here, and that is drawing some of that heat in, but also pulling some cooler air in there by accident as well. And very, very hot temperatures up in the northern portions of our wonderful Australian territories. Looking at what we've got in Fiji and those areas, all look like 26, 27. New Caledonia 26, and Vanuatu 26, 27. Papua New Guinea, same thing. Indonesia over here, about the same. And that's kind of what we're seeing. Not bad temps for them. And of course, a little cooler here on Java, but still relatively nice. And as we slide over and take a look, we have a quick peek at Bangkok, and we'll take a look. It says 24 here, and thanks Leo for bringing that up. And that is where are we? 26 degrees, 81% relative humidity. And I hear somebody's got one of those blowers going outside. We'll get rid of it by closing the window, and that's better. And looking over at the Philippines, 28 in Manila. And as we slide up towards Japan, bottom end of Japan, a little bit warmer, but we quickly drop into the single digits, going up most of Japan. Coastal areas are a little bit warmer, but cold for the most part all over the place. Kamchatka Peninsula, definitely a little on the cool side today, not going to worry about that. And of course, Siberian, they've got a high in here now, and that's where the cold is going to start coming in. And we already seen, what was it, 37 degrees Celsius, minus 37 there. Yeah, right in here, minus 37. Yeah, that's getting colder, and of course, that can go down to about minus 50 degrees Celsius in that area. Not bad looking in India and South Africa, a lot warmer in Cape Town, coming in at 16, and we do see the higher elevations, but most of Africa is starting to really warm up on the bottom end, Even the Sahara Desert is starting to get some heat back in there. And of course, we see pretty normal stuff. UAE between 24 and 26. Oman, same thing as usual. Same as Yemen. And then we also see little cool on the top of Iraq, but that's what it is. Even the bottom end of Iraq is not that warm. 18 today on the bottom end here. Basra coming in about 18, 19. And looking at what we see in Iran, I would have Iran the other way from there. Looking at Cairo real quick, 16 degrees Celsius. And we see this big circulation here, and of course that is causing some storm trouble for Piggy. And thank you, Leo, for bringing that up. And it says partly cloudy, 63 Fahrenheit or 17 degrees Celsius, and that is on the island of Kos, right about here, 17 degrees, right where the hand is. And you can see the low is right here, so it's whirling up a storm for her in there, and they're going to get some rain, some more rain. And she felt so excited this morning. She emailed me and told me that she got rain, and I thought, yay! I'm just hoping that it doesn't come down in torrential sheets and allows it to soak in a little bit, if just a little bit at a time, to start out with, get that ground wet again, since they haven't had rain since March there, which is pretty wild. Anyway, looking at what we see on Sicily, coastal areas are not bad at all, but interior, as soon as you get in there, we see the cold temps. And of course the refrigerator is on. Oh wow, thank you for the gift. Oh, Karen, you noticed. And feel free to use those new emojis that you now have access to. And you are officially 1 month free membership for you. So all good, and cool to have you on board there. And there we go. We do see the other stuff around the boot of Italy, coastline not bad on the bottom, but as soon as you start heading up, we see it gets very cold very quickly. And let's see, there was some talk. Actually, I watched one of our friend there, Geology Hub, one of his little videos. They were talking about Campi, the volcano that is right here. And of course, Mount Vesuvius is very close to it, but Campi is over on this side, and it is considered to be a supervolcano. And they were saying that there was some uplift there showing, and I hope nothing major comes out of that. I hope it just subsides and goes away, because if and that's just like if Vesuvius went, we'd have a whole bunch of people in harm's way. So we don't want that. Leo saying buffering there, and I'm looking, my bit rates are solid right now, Leo. It must be something on your end. Milano coming in at 8 degrees, and we see here on New Monk Land still showing fairly cool right now. Of course, it's nighttime there, so that's to be expected. Coastal areas a little bit warmer, but interior definitely a lot colder. And same thing goes with Spain. They are definitely having winter and not getting as much of that warm air pumped in. A little warmer in the coastal areas here of Portugal, but Spain getting a little on the chilly side. And looking even at about half of France is fairly cold, and definitely down in the single digits. As soon as you get over on the western side, though, things start to warm up. We are still seeing some of that warm air blowing through the English Channel, or is it the French Channel? anyway, going this way. And that, of course, is warming up. And good places like Belgium, and I don't know how much in Luxembourg, 6, 7, 8 degrees in Luxembourg, and Holland is definitely getting warmed up by it, 9, 10, 12 on the coastline, so not bad. Germany looking a lot colder. Munich coming in about 8 degrees. Nuremberg 6. Frankfurt 6. Cologne 9, 10. And Berlin 6. Hamburg about 8 degrees. Right now sliding up a little bit more. Looking here at Denmark, we see Copenhagen coming in about 10, 11 degrees. And Aarhus is about 10 degrees as well. So that's what we see up in the northern portions there. Southern end of England not bad, and portions of Wales that are closer to the coast are a little bit warmer, but as soon as you get into the interior, you get to mid and low single digits when you the further north you go anyway. And there we go, up in Scotland, quite cold. And old Irish Monkland still intact, doing its thing. And about 9 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Celsius, somewhere around Doolin, where Irish Monk is from, but the eastern side a tad bit colder. Looking up in the northern portions here, and I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so we can see more. Stockholm coming in at about 9, Oslo at about 6, and Helsinki about 8, St. Petersburg only 4 degrees, and Moscow coming in at 0 right now. We do see quite a bit of cold up in northern Sweden and Norway, and the top half of Finland. And looking at what we're seeing here, it looks like a little bit more warmer air coming circulating around the coastline. And hopefully it's not too bad. Doesn't look too warm there. Reykjavik coming in at 1 degree Celsius, and that is not that warm. Then we have, of course, the peninsula doing its thing, and kind of 2 degrees, 1 degree, 2 degree, not very warm for anybody. Quick peek at precipitation, and we'll start out with Iceland. Western half not bad, fairly dry. Eastern half getting snow, not good. And we will take a look at North America real fast, and seeing what we've got. Some stuff here in the Rockies in Alberta probably going to come over top of us tomorrow. And here's that storm I was talking about off the coast. And that is nailing everybody here on the, I guess from about, well, from Oregon, even in California a little bit, but from the bottom end, ice rain there, that'd be in Redding almost, but from there on up, quite a ways up into British Columbia, that is really hitting everybody, and kind of the way it is. And looking at what we've got on the eastern side, this one over Manitoba, that low in Ontario, lots of snow for Manitoba, some places in Saskatchewan as well, getting snow down on the bottom there. A little bit of lake effect stuff right here, and that is popping up on the U.S. side mainly. But looking up at the northern portions of Quebec and Labrador here, lots of ice rain happening. Hopefully nobody's in harm's way. And there we see Newfoundland, some water up top, raining there. Not bad though for the most part. And how come there's no lines there? There we go. Anyway, looking pretty good here in Nova Scotia, that a little bit into New Brunswick, nothing really super major. Looking at the eastern coastline all the way down to Florida, pretty isolated on little spots of something, but nothing major. This low out here this is going to continue to grow, and this will be a hurricane, and not going to be good for those people in that area. Sliding down Central America, we see the bottom half of Mexico, and then getting into Central American region are what I call the equatorial storm is there, and looking at what we've got here in Brazil and the rainforest, some rain happening, a little bit of rain coming down here in Chile, even though it is fairly warm, at least they're not getting snow. And moving out a little bit more, we see a storm forming out here, a low, a high sitting here, beside New Zealand, helping bring the heat back in, and that's what we've got there. A little bit of a rain there in New Zealand, not much, but I think Tonga and that area out here are probably getting hit with some rain. And looking at Australia, nothing in Tasmania. Very little in the lower portions here where Leo lives. Some showers, that's probably still welcome. And a little bit of rain there in the back country. Same thing, or I should say the breadbasket. And this funny V here being caused by that low. Some rain down there. And a little bit of a couple of highs there doing their job with the extra temperatures. Nice to see that they're getting that rain. Looking at the rest of the Philippine, Malaysian, and Indonesian areas, storm. Lots of thunderstorms happening all over the place there. So not unusual to see that. And of course, there the Philippine Sea is full of that stormy stuff doing its thing. There is a low here. I'm not sure if that one is generating too much. We do have a couple of highs sitting here as well. There's probably another low. There it is right there. And that's kind of dumping all that stuff over everybody. We'll see what happens in the future with those. And sliding up. How come my map is disappearing? Too close in, I guess. And looking at Japan, not bad. We do see the Kamchatka Peninsula has got a low sitting here, pulling in the moisture from that high, and that's where it's going. We do see another storm here out of the Aleutian Islands. That will likely end up coming this way as well. We'll see what the future brings, and hopefully it won't railroad in here. We know that they had a lot of rain in that area so far, and I'm sure the interior is going to get more of it as well. Southern Africa got a bunch of places where it's raining, and that is probably welcome. It is the rainy season for them, and that is awesome. Now to get over and take a look at Storm Eva, and Eva is just sitting right on top of Piggy. Piggy is here on the island of Kos, right there, and they are getting some thunderstorms, and that is pretty nasty. It looks like it looks like they're going to get all the rain all at once, since they didn't get anything from back in since March. So we were hoping it'll come in little dribbles at first, but it really isn't very nice when you get everything in one shot. And yeah, Piggy was telling me even the locals were outside. The Greek people haven't seen rain for so long, and they go outside to go actually stand in the rain and have the raindrops hit their faces and things like that, since they haven't had it so long. Anyway, looking at fairly dry in Spain a little bit right here on the coastline, and then looking at France, the coast is calming down a little bit. Same thing with Holland and Belgium. That, of course, system was down here earlier, nailing them pretty bad, and I see we still have this to come up and over. That low is a really nasty one, and it looks like he's got a secondary low right here. And of course, too lows always make too lows. It goes too low. How low can you go? Too low. And not good. Oslo getting nailed with some rain there. And Denmark, of course, would be getting rained on pretty bad right now too. Even Hamburg, and lots of rain happening in Germany. Looking at the northern portions of Norway and Sweden and Finland and even Russia up here, a couple more lows. When they come in pairs, they're trouble, and that's what we're seeing there. And here we go, back to Iceland. Snow in the east, will dry in the west, and I don't know if they're going to have too much more snow after that passes through, though. It looks a little bit clear here for now. But this moisture, this has still got a long ways to go. So you guys in England and Ireland, you're not out of the woods yet. There's more to come, and depending on where the currents take this, that may end up coming up the channel as well, or it may come up in between here, Ireland and Wales. So that's it, and we'll zoom out, and we will go find our coldest temperature on the planet. We'll have a quick peek at the Antarctic and see if we can find a very, very cold temperature for you to leave you on a friendly note. And of course, I already found minus 58 degrees, 59, minus 59 so far, and that is what I've got here. And let me see if we can find anything colder, and be fair about it, you guys. Make sure that you're on the same time, and that you didn't pick anything other than 2 meters above the ground. And let's see, 59C, and do we have a 60 anywhere? I don't see a 60, I see 59, so I'm going to leave it at that, 59 in a couple of places, and that's pretty normal. So all right, let's see, Grandma B found minus 60, Trevor found minus 58, and I guess I'm right between them. So Grandma B, you win the cold prize today. It was minus 60 30 minutes ago. Oh wow, that doesn't count. Yes it does, and that's all good. I don't mind. And yep, Grandma B, you get the cold prize. That's the free trip out to the penguins, so you can watch the March of the Penguins in real. 3 more likes. Yes, let's see if we can hit 3 more likes, you guys, for all those good people who are here. If you have not yet hit that like button, we are desperately trying to get over that 100 mark, and we are at 97 likes. So if there's somebody in here who hasn't hit that like button yet, help us out. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it is one of the best ways to support the stream, and that is awesome. Anyway, to wrap things up, I want to say thank you first off to each and every one of you that is in here, and that is really nice, and do appreciate all of you coming in and having a look. I see 99 on mine. Grandma B said yay 100, so maybe there's one more here that didn't show up on my board yet, but that is awesome. And want to say a big thank you to our super chatters first off, and that is Leo Carlson and Kevin Haynes, and then of course also to Thor and some guy named Dr. Fox for each gifting 1 membership, and both of those were gotten. Sasha got the one from Thor, and Karen got the one from that Dr. Fox guy. So that's all good and nice to see. And on that friendly note, I am going to wrap it up. I'm seriously pondering pizza for tonight, so I think I'm going to go throw one in the oven, and we'll see what we can do. I got lots of Pepsi, so I might as well enjoy a pizza. And that's it for right now. Today, of course, is Sunday, so tomorrow is Monday. Who is that Dr. Fox person? I have no idea, Sasha. It's I see that name once in a while here, and I've got no idea. Thank you, Sharon Stewart. And I want to say thanks again to all of you for being here, whether you're a member or just a member of the Lava family. Glad to have you all on board. And of course, always a pleasure to be here, to be able to do these shows for you guys. So thank you very, very much for being here, for participating, for being part of the Lava family. A big thank you to our moderators, Arizona Snowman, who's out getting Chinese food, and C&D Boy, and Piggy, of course, who is probably without power and needs to make sure she saves her phone for important things and shouldn't be watching streams right now, hopefully. Anyway, hope she's doing all right, and that storm isn't messing things up too badly. I see the board on my side got up to 100 likes here now, so that is awesome, you guys. Also, a big thank you I did say thanks to C&D, and also Gary at 24/7 Live. He's at Skies. Thank you for being here, you guys. Awesome and very cool. And tomorrow, of course, being Monday, we get back to our regular streaming time, and that is cool. And thank you very much to all of you for being here. Let's wrap the show up with some canned lava and a little bit of music. You make a YouTube worth having a doc. Thanks, Robert Ferrari, and I appreciate that. And I'm glad you enjoy the show. That is the most important part for me, because that really does inspire me to want to keep going. And we'll see what comes out of it in our future. And let's hit the go button on the lava flow. There we go. Got it happening, and that's it. So again, thank you everyone for being here. Take care, and be good, everyone. And make sure, please, that you tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the Great White North. And we'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care. Oink, oink, and good night.